Hey guys, so I'm back with a engineer video, and I know I usually make spy videos, but I wanted to do a bit of a change this time, and I thought I'd add a bit of variety. And yeah, so I'm gonna play with the engineer and show you something I quite like. So don't worry, I'm not insane or anything, although I have heard that insane people never admit it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not like a pro at playing engineer because I haven't played it that much, although I have embarrassingly had TF2 since like 2008, 2009. So yeah, I mean, I've really not given the engineer any attention, and kind of giving my age away there. But yeah, don't worry, kids, I won't hurt you. You're probably wondering why I'm spamming so many shots in this clip here. Well, the main reason is in case I hit a spy, which obviously does happen sometimes, and also spamming inside the spawn points helps a lot when you're playing payload because it kind of prevents the enemy from coming out of their spawn. So any sort of time advantage which you can get is great because, you know, it's against the clock. Now, the first point I wanted to talk about was being able to simply use the mini sentry as sort of an escape plan. So say for example you're trying to evade from a pyro and you've just ran around the corner. You quickly build your mini sentry and the pyro literally comes around the corner and gets killed by the mini sentry. Why? Because it takes literally like 3-4 seconds to build and it does about 20 to 30 damage per second. Yes, I was sad enough to calculate that. And yeah, so it's just great for that. The next thing is that it's not overwhelmingly strong, so people sometimes disconsider it. So this is really good in payload. So say for example your team is really close to the point where the payload destructs or detonates or whatever, and the other team is more concentrated on trying to stop the enemy team. So what they're going to do is attack them instead of really bothering about a little mini sentry. And even though it might cause quite a lot of damage, they're not going to easily notice it because there's so much carnage going on at the time, and the mini sentry is like kind of stealthy in a way. It's not like the level 3 sentry where there's lots of rockets being fired and stuff. And as you'll see from my later clip that I set up a mini sentry and nobody actually takes notice of it, and I have no trouble from spies or anything, which would never actually happen if I had like a level 3 sentry. So yeah, it's not really always a priority for the opponent's team to try and destroy or take down a mini sentry, so for that reason I think it's brilliant. My next point is going to be a bit contrary to what I just said. I also think the mini sentry is a good distraction. So say for example there's quite a few enemies charging down and you as the engineer set up a mini sentry, and obviously there's going to be a few of them which try to destroy the mini sentry, and this always does happen. While they're trying to destroy your mini sentry, what you can then do is attack them because they're focused on the mini sentry. And normally what people do is go melee or try and destroy it with their weapon, which isn't always as effective unless you've got stickies, obviously. So it does take a few seconds to destroy it, and while they're destroying that, you could counter-attack them and ambush them. The next point is that the mini sentry is really good for hiding behind, or you know, just hiding behind a corner or something where you're not in sight, because people usually assume that a mini sentry isn't really protected by the engineer because it's really easy to destroy, and the engineer doesn't really care about rebuilding or repairing it. I mean, not rebuilding, they don't really bother about repairing it. So what they usually do is just destroy the mini sentry and then carry on doing whatever they're doing. Whereas if it were to be a level 3 sentry, they'd probably assume there's the engineer round the corner or about to come back or try and repair their sentry, so they'd maybe go investigate a bit more. So my point is that if you're an engineer, you could just easily hide behind a corner or be out of sight and set up your mini sentry, and you won't have any issues with the enemy actually coming for you. So you can just keep on spamming more sentries and building them, and they won't actually notice or come to the realization right away that you're hiding behind a corner and just spamming mini sentries.